Union Square, 4 will be dead.
Ivory kills! Ivory kills!
This is the story about March for Elephants San Francisco, their fight to ban the sale of ivory in California and end the killing of elephants in Africa. Vision, action, impact. Changemakers calling for a shift in the paradigm, to reorder our relationship with animals, elephants in particular. A call to end the Chinese lust for ivory, and the demand that local black communities in Africa be given the space to lead in elephant conservation, to decide the future of their wildlife.
35,000 are killed each year. 100 a day.
We saw this as a civil rights issue. The rights of these non-human animals were being impacted.
We're really concerned with animals' autonomy and with respecting them as sentient beings that have emotions, that have families, that have sophisticated social and emotional lives.
Chinatown. Along the crowded streets, amidst all the trinkets right out in front, ivory was openly being sold.
We wanted to take a strong stand with regard to ivory. It was the ivory market and trinkets that were driving elephants to extinction. So where better to march than in front of an ivory store?
If they marched in Chinatown, calling for an end to the sale of ivory, what would be the reaction?
5, 6, 7, 8!
Stop the train! It's not too late!
People who can't hear! Come on!
In the summer of 2013, a diverse group of San Francisco Bay Area residents gathered in response to overwhelming evidence of the deepening slaughter of elephants in Africa.
I didn't bring them. All right, guys, so we're going to start. Thank you for coming. Cheryl said she couldn't make it today.
My passion lay in this idea that suffering had to be normalized, that it was the base common denominator, the measure by which we should view the world and guide our moral compass. Most ivory comes from the suffering and the deep pain of animals and humans in Africa.
The story of March for Elephants is the story of advocacy carried out in the very best way.
We have a state and national petition that we're going to be sending different representatives to help to ban ivory trade.
The answer for California was the big push to draft legislation calling for a total ban on the sale of ivory. Vigorous discussion within the group made it clear their strategy had to take on a wider role.
Our petition is asking the state of California to ban it, period. Ban it, period.
AB 96. 96 elephants killed every day.
Well, I think it's huge. It's part of a larger movement in the United States to ban the sale of ivory and rhino horn.
You know, there are two kinds of activism. You have the people who are into direct action, they protest, they do demonstration. I'm a person who says, I think it's more effective to change laws.
Yes! Yeah!
Our focus is to raise awareness and change policy positively on behalf of both the human and the non-human in the African continent, because unless you get the human living right next to the animal involved in the conversation, I think you've already lost.
Let's march to demand Appendix 1. Stand up to stop the trade, to stop the ivory trade, to stop the trade.
If nothing is done, we are going to lose all of our elephants. It's my call to governments, my call to organizations doing conservation, my call to individuals to stand together and say no to poaching and say stop ivory. Thank you.
After all the passion and outrage, after all the actions taken, after all the laws passed, the killing of elephants continues.